It's the Munster Cast. Welcome to the show. We got a blast from the past. Yeah, it's the Munster Cast. You know what it is. Hit like, hit follow, subscribe to the biz. Leave a comment, share, let your thoughts fly.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters and Munsters adjacent. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell everyone out in the Munsterverse, how you doing today?
Cat still hasn't migrated to the basement.
To the basement or from the basement?
To the basement. That's where we keep our litter boxes.
Gotcha.
So she's still occupying our bathroom and currently laying next to me. So if you hear a bell jingling, that's her running around the room because she's bored.
All right, guys. We're gonna knock this out because I gotta drive in 2.5 hours south. So, all right.
How much more south can you get than Florida?
Look here, okay. Florida's a big state. Okay. I think just going from the start of like the Keys, like the road that you get on to go down to like Key West, I think it's still like a 2-hour drive or some shit. Something like that. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. And there's like one gas station on the way there. So they're making bank.
Fun. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
kind of places that you can see surge pricing.
Yeah, definitely. There's one whole island though that's nothing but like a beach, basically, which is kind of cool.
Pretty. I've seen that. Yeah. My old boss loved Google Maps, and he showed me all the areas down there that he worked.
Yeah. There's also one spot where there's like a guy, they have their house just like on their own little tiny island right off of that main road. And I'm like, if a hurricane hits there, you're just toast.
Yeah, that's a flood.
Yeah.
Unless they just don't live on the first floor. Maybe that's a giant pool.
Right.
I thought you were going to say there was an island of nothing but gas stations. And I'm like, how does anyone make money?
That's what you do. You go mess with them all. All right, guys. Let's dive into this real quick. All the dirty business. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram via the Munster Cast, and any other social media platforms that we may be on. You can check our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. You can check out all of our content in one place if you don't want to go to those places. Going to TheMunsterCast.com. That's www.TheMunsterCast.com. You can also swing on over and click the little microphone icon and send us a voice message over there too as well, and we will play it on the show if you would like. You can also swing on over and hit the store tab or just go to TheMunsterCast.com/merch and pick up some awesome shirts that we have curated for you guys, the Munster fans out there specifically. You can also email us at TheMunsterCast@outlook.com and just email us anything you want, Munsters related. Whether you want to tell us the podcast is crap, or you want to try and get onto the show, or just tell us your fandom, do that over at TheMunsterCast@outlook.com, guys. Or you can do it through any messenger system through our social medias as well.
Yep. And it is 5:47 in the morning, so excuse our energy, but we have a Patreon. Tip jar, as always. We appreciate everyone who's helping keep the lights on here. You do that, you get a little extra perk of joining our Discord where you get to chat with us directly. It's the easiest way to chat with us. And also, you could also view Munsters Today on there. Can't download it. Stop asking. I'm sorry. We can't do that. Universal will be mad at us. Hopefully, box set coming soon. Come on, Universal. But if you really want to help the show, comment or leave a review on your podcatcher of choice if they allow it. Rate us stars. It gets us viewed by more people, more ears on us, more people talking about the Munsters, which means more Munster stuff. Mm-hmm. You show interest, the company will be like, we can make money here. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment below. Bring up that engagement. Tell us what you think. Just like sending an email, all that stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Hit that bell if you want to be annoyed by us every Munster Monday. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got.
I believe our first episode went live for us. We're recording ahead. We're on the future, guys. Uh, and we haven't heard any bad complaints about the new intro, so that's good.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah. We did have some technical issues with the audio upload version of the show. It was 2 weeks ago now, I want to say. So apologies for that, guys, but I did take care of it. For some reason, when it outputted one track louder than the other. So I got that fixed as soon as I noticed. But anyways, yeah, I'm ready to dive on into this. What are we talking about today, Tivis?
We are talking about Wishing You Were Here. And I do not remember if either of us guessed a birthday episode.
I don't think so, no.
I didn't think so either. But here we are. It's an Eddie episode. Surprise. Which, I mean, it's fine. Season 3, episode 3. Or if you slam both shows together, this is the 121st episode. Aired October 20th, 1990. Written by Robert Schechter. This is not the first time this guy's name has come up. This is actually the third of 4 episodes he's done. Last time we seen him was Take This Job and Shovel It, which was a fun one. And then we got Russ Pertanto directing again.
Awesome.
Yeah. And as for guest list, we actually have 2 guests, but only one of them is listed. We'll get to that when it happens in the episode. But we have Terry Ivins as Alicia. Born in 1967. First credited thing on IMDb is Long Arm as, no joke, Mexican girl.
Wait, that's
what she's credited as.
okay.
Yeah. Then she went on to do 8 episodes of, this was in 1988 as well. She went on to do Boys Will Be Boys for 8 episodes. She was on an episode of Doogie Howser, which is a show they tried to bring back, and I never watched either version. So she was on 2 episodes of Baywatch. An episode of Melrose Place. Let's see. Just going through the list here. An episode of Boy Meets World. An episode of Married with Children. 64 episodes of All My Children. So if you're a fan of that soap, she definitely looks familiar. That was between 2002 and 2007. Let's see. Chicks Dig Gay Guys from 2014. Never heard of it, but that sounds like a stupid comedy I might enjoy.
Oh,
The Last Exorcist. The poster, yeah,
looks stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like one of those dumb. Actually, even though it came out in 2014, it looks like an early 2000s comedy.
Yeah, it does.
Please don't jump up there. The Last Exorcist in 2020, and the last thing that she had come out is Untold. This Is My Story in 2021. She has something in post-production, Better Than a Shovel, but yeah, so still very much active today. She's actually produced 4 things, and she produced and was a writer on Going to Bed with Terry Ivins. So it's a TV series, obviously about herself.
Right. And I'll tell you this right now. I'm looking at her like more current photo of her. She looks almost the same in the face, dude. It's crazy. How old is she now?
71.
She's 71?
I believe, let's see.
No
67.
way.
No, I'm thinking about someone else I'm going to talk about later.
I was about to say, there ain't no way. Because she would be more towards like 50s, if anything.
58.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My bad, Terry.
James isn't that old either, so.
No. And I was actually wondering
Or Jason,
her
not James,
character's
sorry.
age in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please stop hitting my microphone. Okay, we're opening up Windows now. Thank you. Oh, no, there goes my microphone.
Is Jason and James Marsden related? Did we go over that yet?
I think we talked about it, but we never found a definitive answer.
All right. Anyways.
Let's see. What does the Goog say? No, they're not. But they're good friends.
But that's AI. Are we going to trust AI? Like, really?
I mean, they did work together in Static Shock, didn't they?
Did they? I don't know if James was on that show or not. Anyway, let's go.
All right. So I think it's time.
It's time. Is it time?
It's time.
synopsis time. All right. Oh, wait. Did you talk about the other girl?
I don't know who she is.
Okay. All right. Then it's synopsis time. Synopsis time. All right. We are talking about Wishing You Were Here, which aired October 20th, 1990, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, the Irish Wishmaster runs rampant as Eddie uses one final wish to get the girl of his dreams. Will Eddie get his jello shot bath with Janet Jackson, or will the family cringe in fear of a house full of plushies and a dirty bathroom? Will Marilyn's jealousy cause her to vomit? Will Herman and Lily lose themselves to the sound of wedding bells? Will Grandpa break his streak after his wife leaving him? Will Eddie become the man he wants to be, or stay a child for the time being? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. There we go.
All right.
That's
How long did it take you to come up with that
confusing.
synopsis?
Huh?
How long did it take you to come up with that synopsis?
About 2 minutes. Maybe a minute and a half.
All right.
Why was that too short? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
No, just because I know you just finished it not long ago.
Oh yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, I just finished it this morning, so
I mean, it's better than last week. Last week I had literally written the synopsis right before we recorded because I totally forgot to do it.
It was still very well done. So all right, let's dive into this.
All right, man.
We open with our first opening shot of the house for the season.
Dun 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 dun.
Marilyn is covering Eddie's eyes as Lily, Herman, and Grandpa bring out his cake and a gift. Herman
This shot annoyed me.
Did
it annoyed me. It annoyed me so much because as they're standing around the table, yeah, it's Eddie's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
The frosting on the cake is green. The present in Herman's hand is blending in with his hand green.
I had trouble figuring out what it was at first. I thought it was like some cupcakes or something.
And I was just like, it all blends into the color of Herman right here. And that because you have the green napkins on the table. There was something else green on the table. I couldn't tell. Maybe it was like green peas or something. I wasn't sure. So I was just like, there's so much green here that and it's all almost the exact same shade as Herman. And I was like, this is annoying to my eyes.
So, yeah, Herman tells him to make a wish, and he blows out all the candles in one go. Herman's like, hey, what'd you wish for? I'm like, Herman, that's not how that works, man. But Eddie tells him anyway, a turbocharged convertible. Herman tells him best 2 out of 3 and starts relighting the candles before Eddie blows them out again.
Yeah.
What are you holding?
I was pouring out a box of Japanese Oreos.
Why Jap? I don't know. We can't get into this. No.
The Japanese store had them and they were really cheap, so I got them. They have Pop Rocks built into the cookies and each one's individually wrapped. Come on, you gotta love the Japanese, man. Like, they know how to do things.
All right, now I want to try them. Damn you. So Herman's like, I never forgot the day I turned 15. Frankenstein hooked me up to some big electrodes to give me strength. Marilyn asked if it worked. No, but for the next few months, I got HBO, which
Mhm.
this was hundreds of years ago. HBO did not exist. So are we
That's-
getting some weird time-bending electromagnetism?
I was confused. I was like, is it a joke? Did Herman make a funny? Because he likes to be a funny guy sometimes. He has his joke book.
It did seem like it
Or
was more of a joke, but also
yeah,
this is her.
right.
Which
But again, Dr. Frankenstein, he hooked him up. So you're admitting that you know who Dr. Frankenstein was again after having an episode of where you talked about Dr. Frankenstein being your dad, and then having a whole episode of like, I don't even know who this guy is. Like, shut up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't
I'm
bring
just
that
gonna
back up.
take a second here. I watched this episode over a 2-day span because my time is stupid, but
Yeah.
I forgot how much Marilyn is front loaded in this episode because she just disappears halfway through. Please don't hurt me.
Well, I think it's we'll get into it as the show progresses. As the episode progresses. Yeah.
So Herman then gives him something no man of the 90s should live without. Eddie thinks it's an electric razor or cigars, which I know we hadn't established smoking is a cancer thing yet, but cigars, really? It's a pop-up book. Lily's favorite from when she was a little girl. Eddie's like, yeah, I'm not a little girl. Which he's not.
It was called Kitty Caravans.
Yes, and Grandpa concurs with this description because he changed his diapers. No, the book wasn't called Kitty Caravan. Marilyn then gives him her gift, which is a gift certificate to Kitty Caravan.
Oh yeah. That's what it is. Kitty Caravan's a store. That's right.
He actually takes this very well and just like, this is great and all, but I just no longer coordinate my outfits by matching animal tags. And then he throws it on the table kind of rudely, and she's upset by this, which is fair. That was pretty rude.
Yeah.
Then we got a knock on the door. And at this point, I realized, we haven't seen the owl gag in a while.
The owl. Yeah.
Yeah. Who?
Since season 1, I think.
Yeah, I know. So Herman says, Herman says they all know he's entering to manhood. Lily jumps in saying, hey, he's an adult. He's not. And they plan to treat him like one, a lie parents say to everyone. Marilyn comes in with a clown. It's Silly Bells.
Yeah. Sorry.
Herman,
I ate one of those cookies and now I just hear constant popping in my ears wearing the earphones, and it's very loud.
Oh, this is gonna be a weird one, guys. So yeah, we got a clown in their house now. Herman tells him to go sit on his lap. No, that is not a clown thing.
Yeah.
Investigate this man immediately.
Yeah. It was, and Eddie's just like in shame.
As everyone should be.
Don't have clowns at birthday parties, even if your kids like it. The only clown that should be at a birthday party is Pennywise.
No. Don't do that one either.
Give me a good clown that should be at a birthday party.
Homie.
What the heck's that?
You don't know Homie the Clown.
No.
Did you not watch In Living Color?
Oh yeah. Dude, I was Never mind. Okay. You're right.
So now we
I
go
was
to
gonna
the
give
left.
another morbid one. I was gonna say John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna go there.
Anyways,
We are sleep deprived. In the lab, Eddie is asking Leonard, how old do you have to be before people start treating you with respect? While we haven't seen, we haven't seen Stuart in a while either. I'm realizing there's a lot of gags that are just gone now.
I do love the gag here, though. They give Leonard a shoulder shrug.
Yeah,
where
he just shrugs.
And then
Like,
now
"Ugh."
on top of that, you could have left the scene alone like that. But then as Grandpa walks through the scene, you then get Leonard's nice head turn, and
Yeah.
he's following him the whole time. And I'm like, you guys are they're I don't think if you did this show right now, unless you CG'd the skeleton, I don't think that they would put that much attention to detail in it for Leonard to make him his own character.
Yeah. You realize Leonard's basically a cat?
Yeah, he doesn't really move around. You don't see him
He just watches.
walk. Yeah.
So Grandpa overhears this and he's like, hey, Eddie, you have no idea what being baby it is like. My mom pinned my mittens to my cape until I was 300. Which we will learn that's pretty awkward because he was doing something else 100 years before that. Eddie asks how he can be grown up. You're not, dude. If no one treats him like one. Grandpa now gives Eddie his gift, which he says, what did you just do?
That's not what he said.
No, did you hear that?
Yes, I heard your cat knocking stuff down.
He's like, hey. Like,
guys, I gotta tell everyone listening, you need to watch the video here because you can see Tivis's cat creeping up in the background, getting ready to do some weird stuff.
She's gonna knock over all my DVDs.
Anyway.
He goes, look, I would never give this to you if I didn't think you were mature enough. So it's every man's dream. And Eddie's like, a jello bath with Janet Jackson? Dude, calm down. Your perverted nature is going way too much into potential jail time if this keeps up. Okay?
I mean, at least he's saying older women all the time. He's never bringing up younger girls. And it's not jail time for him. That would be jail time for them. So...
no, I'm saying if this keeps up, he's going to be the dude drilling a hole into the women's locker room.
Porky style. Yes.
He's going to go to jail. So he's a grown man now. Or no, the grandpa goes,
like, you're more grown than grown up than I thought.
So sit down. Once upon a time, I had a friend who was a leprechaun. He's like, a leprechaun? What else could you be if you're 2 foot tall and green? Now, here's my question to you. Is he saying this because he looked that way, or is he saying this because this is the only job his friend could get?
I don't know, dude. Is this the first time we've brought leprechauns up in this franchise, though?
Yes.
Is it?
Okay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a crossover with Leprechaun. Anyway, his name was Barry O'Blarney, which God, I wish I could say that in an Irish accent, though.
I could try, but it would sound so wrong and everybody would hate me.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do the Irish accent. I just was born with genetic disability to not be able to do any accent.
I just think of the Lucky Charms theme song every time.
I think of Jackie Chan Adventures where the one henchman goes to Ireland, talks about the Blarney Stone.
When I think of like a traditional like Irish accent too, I don't even think of like actual Irish movies that I've seen. I think of the guys from Gangs of New York.
Oh. I've
Which
been
is sad
watching.
because I'm not even sure how close like that actual accent would be in perspective to like straight up Irish accent from people in Ireland.
I know. I've been watching a lot of the wrestler Joe Hendry,
Mhm.
and I just realized I didn't know this before because he hasn't really done a whole lot of mic talks in the WWE stuff I've seen.
Right.
Sorry,
Bless you.
sorry about that. I was trying to hold it in so bad. And he's got a very thick Irish accent. I didn't know he originated from there. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's going to be in town in April, so I might meet him.
That's the NXT champ, right?
No, I think he's TNA champ.
Or TNA champ. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
One of those not little companies, but one of the other shows. Yeah. The TNA guy.
Other shows. All right. So his only wish was to meet a lady to live his life with. This is his friend Barney. And he asked why. Please don't step on the keyboard. And he's like, well, why didn't he just wish for one? He's like, don't you read the back of your cereal box? You'd know they can only grant wishes for other people. And that one bowl contains more sugar than the state of Hawaii. I can't see my notes, Cat. And I'm like, take that, Lucky Charms. So Eddie goes, did Barney find a lady? Now with the help of yours truly. Within 2 days, I found him a 2-foot tall, lean green love machine.
Is it a mini Herman?
Yeah. Oh, God, no. Is that where the future Herman went?
Grandpa definitely got rid of him.
Barney was so grateful he gave me this, and he opens it up. He calls it a shamrock, but really it's a 4-leaf clover. He's like, this right here will grant you 3 wishes if you rub it. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're stealing genie stuff now, huh? And he's like, well, what did you wish for? Well, my first wish was all the money in Transylvania. But with the rate of exchange back then, it came to about $12.30.
It's messed up, bro.
It is. Oh, I wish I would be able to convert that in today's money, but I have no idea. Well, I guess 400 years ago. There's no way we have record of that. He's like, I thought I'd be smarter with my second wish. It involved a really great looking farmer's daughter. And Eddie's like, well, what about your third wish? I never used it. It's still right here in the shamrock. And I'm giving it to you. But be careful. The power within that can change the world. And Eddie promises to handle it like an adult. He's not. Because now we're going to cut to Eddie with a list on the couch asking which is cooler, a Mercedes, a Porsche, or the Concorde. Herman's getting his hair cut at the table by Lily, and he's just, what are we talking about? What is this for? And I'm like, honestly, I'm with you, Herman. I don't get expensive cars. Like, I know everyone loves to have things they like to enjoy. I got my nerd stuff that people will probably say is worthless to them, but a car is a car. It gets you from point A to point B. Why spend money that you don't need to on it?
Yeah.
Although you probably should for other people's sake. So Marilyn comes in with the mail and just dumps a bunch on Eddie. And he sees this lady on the cover of Marilyn's magazine, and some very loud music starts blaring as he walks around the room, just staring at it like a creep. And Marilyn has this like exasperated smirk, as if this isn't the first time he stole one of her magazine issues, which this kid has to be stopped. So Herman's like, what are you looking at? And Marilyn explained he saw Alicia's picture. She's the hottest new fashion model. at this, I'm like, oh, fashion model. Oh no, are we gonna get into how terrible they're treated? Because models are they're treated like dirt, dude. Have you anyone out there? If you want to see an example, like publicly filmed, watch America's Next Top Model. My wife used to watch that show. Tyra Banks. Not only does she look like a soulless person with her dead, lifeless eyes, but she treats them horribly, like on camera. And so it's not really a shocker, all the scandals and stuff that are coming out from behind the scenes.
Yeah. So real quick before we continue on, the furthest back I can do inflation calculations to is 1775, so I can't even go 400 years in the past.
Yeah.
But that equivalent to $12 from 1775 to today would be $491.85.
I'm sorry, what?
$491.85.
Ah, God, our economy is screwed.
That's all in that amount of centuries, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
That's actually not a lot.
$12 to $400?
From 1775. It's like 300 some years ago.
Yeah.
I feel it's gone up more in the last 10 years and 20 years.
No, you're very true. That's very true.
Anyways, sorry. Because if you take $12 from 1990 to 2025, that's almost $30 right there. And that's not even as big of a gap.
Yeah.
That's 30 American. All this is in American. So, and I think that's why you can't go back past the
USD.
400 and some dollar thing, because we're not that old of a country. So we've only been around for what? America's been established for 400 and some years, couple of years.
So why don't you look up the European inflation?
Transylvanian inflation.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right, anyways.
Eddie is transfixed on this image, and Herman's like, "Are you okay?"
No, he's not.
Oh no! Don't do that.
The cat just hit the camera.
Climb the monitor.
That's awesome. But yeah, so Eddie's just fixated on this. Did they say it was Alicia. They already gave the name Alicia.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And he gives it in a way that's like somebody on drugs telling his family that they're not on drugs. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing heroin anymore. What are you talking about?
Did you notice that in this scene, her Lily's dress seems a lot more vibrant than in the past?
I did notice that. Yeah.
It's like they went away from that like maroony.
It's more pinkish
color, and this is a lot more purple pink. Yeah. Okay.
We get a lot of really great outfits for Eddie during this entire episode, by the way.
Yeah.
So he tells everyone to back up and pulls out his clover. Do they know about the clover yet? Why is because Herman's like back there like, oh God, what's about to happen? He says he wants Alicia, and his family look mortified because he sounds like a creep.
Yeah.
Cut to him all dressed up, holding some weeds on the stairs. They might be flowers. I'm not a botanist or a gardener. Grandpa comes down and he's holding some kind of glass ball that they don't ever acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. I want one. I like glass things. He tells Eddie to give it time. It took the farmer's daughter 4 months to finish the crop season before he finally got a chance with her.
And this is when I noticed Eddie's giant earring in his ear.
Yep. He looks up and it's just right there. And so Lily and Herman come over, and Liz is like, doesn't he look smashing tonight? And Herman's like, yeah, from the shoes up to the earring. And she's like, That's mine, and yanks it out of his ear, which, ow.
Right? Come on now.
But, Eddie's all dejected. He's he's about to give up. He's like, this is never going to work. Why did I think this was going to work? And then we hear a knock, not the doorbell,
Boom,
a
boom.
knock, like
Yeah.
a knocker.
Yeah.
It's Alicia, and Herman begins flirtatiously, nervously talking to her before Lily comes over and reminds him that she's there. How old is this girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to. Oh,
I
go
had
ahead.
an issue with that because of
We know the
yeah.
actress herself is 23, but it's not uncommon for early 20s to play teenager still.
I don't care if you're playing the teenager, the characters around you should act like you're a teenager.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, how old is the character? Like,
Well, she's older than 15. We established that later on.
yes, we do.
But with what happens at the end, I would say she's still underage.
Yeah, so maybe 17.
16, 17, yeah. Did you notice Herman's voice got really high and squeaky? Like it's almost like he came out of the Herman character for a minute and just used like a normal voice. Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The nervous little cracks in his voice, which apparently Eddie inherits, which we'll get into here in a second. Yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you. And Alicia's like, oh, I know. Where's Eddie? It's so weird. 2 hours ago, she was modeling in a swimsuit, and she just had to meet him. Eddie's voice cracks.
Oh, it was you forgot. Also, when she says who's Eddie, or where's Eddie Munster, Grandpa pipes up. And he's like, I'm Eddie.
I don't remember that. That's funny.
Yeah. He bites us saying, I'm Eddie, and Eddie punches him in the back or in the gut or something like that.
Oh, this is a creepy episode.
Oh no, I guess he doesn't hit him. He just like gives him that
stare down.
Yeah, the look, the turn and look. Yeah.
So she begins wandering the house and asks if this is the house where what do you want? You're loud. Is this where they shot Thriller? And Lily likes this girl.
Yeah.
She really, she's like, well, this Voss is really nice. I could really get into it. And Grandpa's like, yeah, Aunt Tilly already beat you to it.
Yeah.
How old is this girl? She says she's so happy to be away from midnight photo shoots. You have no idea what it's like to be around night people. And Grandpa takes full on offense. Ow. Why did you kick me?
No idea.
Yeah.
And then we get the realization that she's staying there.
Oh yeah.
Why are his parents okay with this random girl coming to stay with him, knowing for a matter of fact that it was like a wish that got her there?
Yeah,
and
he
not
basically
only just a wish that got her there, but a wish out of lust.
Basically magical drugging.
Yeah.
This is a creepy episode. So Herman, he grabs her bag and hey, why don't you show her to the guest room? And I'm like, are you sure this is a good idea, man? He just basically drugged a woman. And all Eddie can say this entire time is, wow, which gets closer and closer to Mickey Mouse every single time he says it. She tells him she knows they're going to be close personal friends. And I'm like, at first, I'm like, oh, damn, magically friend zoned. But then she's, what do you want to do first? And the look on his parents' faces is the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah. It's, because they run upstairs together and his parents don't say nothing. They don't say nothing. Like, what? No. Like, look, I have cameras around my entire house. My kids still aren't supposed to have girls upstairs in their rooms.
So you hear that, people? You can hack into Myke's house.
Good luck. Good luck trying to.
So not connected to the internet. You can't anyway. So that's not a thing. That's a movie thing. You can't do that.
We're
So-
gonna tap into the phone lines. What phone lines? There's no phone lines in my house anymore either.
I'm gonna put this chip clip on this wire, and I can hear everything goes on. So now we're in the kitchen where Lily is having a salad and Grandpa's rummaging around the cabinets. This is the first time we've seen the kitchen in a long time, and I know Frank said that it changed because there was. I can't remember if he said there was a fire or something, but the old set got destroyed and they had to rebuild it, and it's smaller now. But they really did a good job, like a convincing enough to make it look like the old set.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if I watched a season 1 episode and this one back to back, it'd be more glaring, but
it is angled a little differently. That's what I noticed was the angle of how you come in and it goes like almost like a sharp L.
Yeah.
But because before it was like you walk through the door and it was like right there, because I remember that when Grandpa was yelling at Lily about not being into her vampire heritage and stuff like that in that one episode in the kitchen. So yeah.
Herman barges in wondering who stuck the smiley face sticker to the rear of the hearse. Lily's like, Alicia did. Wasn't it thoughtful? I'm sorry. I'm probably going to call her Aisha a lot because I literally watched some Power Rangers last night with the character Aisha. Yeah. So I apologize. Alicia. So Grandpa's like, who filled the cupboards with styrofoam?
Yeah.
It's rice cakes. Alicia says they're excellent source of fiber. So is polyester, but I wouldn't put that in my mouth. Different kind of fiber.
Are you sure, Grandpa? Because I'm pretty sure you probably bit through some polyester when you were eating people.
There's
drinking people.
Chance.
Yeah.
Very high chance.
And then in comes Marilyn.
Before that, she hands Herman a mug of silverware, and he's like,
oh, yeah.
What's wrong with our regular knives and forks? And I'm like, what do you mean? The butcher's knife we've seen you use? Like, we got those from Texaco. Yeah. And Lily's like, the silverware was Eddie's idea. He really wants to make an impression on the girl. And I think she says that they're gold, but they look like regular
Dollar Tree silverware. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and
if they were gold, why would you just shove them in a cup like that?
Yeah.
Also,
really.
don't waste your money on gold freaking plated silverware. That's stupid. Tivis is trying to find this cat. It's hiding. It's in the vents. It's in the ceiling.
I hear her.
This is awesome.
Closet over there.
Anyways, then comes Marilyn then with a cup in her hand.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, look what was left in the bathroom.
Yeah. As she proceeds to dump it on a plate that's just randomly on the table. What if someone was using that plate, Marilyn?
Lily's eating right there. This stuff splashed everywhere. What is wrong with you?
The salad's there, the food's there, everything is there, and you're just dumping it on the
this brown sludge. Herman's like,
it looks like pudding. I thought it was just chocolate pudding, like she was eating in the bathroom.
See, I knew what it was immediately, but I love Herman's comment. I'm afraid to ask what that is. It's clearly a mud mask. She's a model.
Yeah.
Anyone who's lived with any woman knows they put stuff on their face. Not usually mud, but something.
I wonder if it's the swamp mud from the backyard. It'd probably be really good on her
Oh,
face.
I bet it is. Yeah, from the moat, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd
She's got
probably
an
be
abundance of it.
it would be really good for her skin, probably, because of all the nutrients of the dead bodies and the water, the ground.
The fertilizer from the Loch Ness monster and its child.
Well, didn't they
Yeah,
end up? Did they actually end up burying that one husband in their backyard?
in the state, the shape of Sweden. I think they might have. I
Yeah, so
think they
him.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or was it Switzerland? It was something.
Yeah.
But Maryland's like, she spilled so much of this on the floor you could mud rustle in there, which
I mean, at least they didn't go into a dirty joke with that.
still. Yeah, Grandpa is sick of this girl taking over the house. And Lily's like, look, relax. You can barely know she's here. Cut to the living room.
Full of plushies and a bicycle and I want to say it's a workout thing. Yeah, it's a workout piece right
I
there.
couldn't tell what it was. Yeah.
It's you like stand on it and I don't know, a stretcher maybe, like stretching for stretching legs out and stuff. I don't know, man.
It kind of just looks like a giant walker.
80s workout equipment was
Weird.
freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Grandpa's comment here is great. He's like, yeah, you're right. Absolutely no trace of her. And he grabs the nearest rabbit and is like, time for the flammability test.
Yeah.
What? Dude. Lily's like, put that down. We promise not to interfere.
Have you ever noticed? I'm gonna upload it right here real quick on the video. You ever
Yes.
noticed this statue in the background before in this scene? Right next to Marilyn and or right next to Lily?
The one that kind of looks like the Venus?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have.
It's the first time I've noticed it in this show. Like so prominent for sure. Yeah. Anyways.
That is a really good shot of Lily's new dress, too.
Yeah, yeah. And her
And they
fingernails
got
that almost
Marilyn
blend
kind of
in.
Yeah, Marilyn's kind of got a darker tone on to kind of complement Lily's lighter.
Yeah.
So,
Marilyn looks so annoyed right here.
yeah, is she wearing a fob watch on her chest? What is that?
I'm not sure what that is. I think it's just the design on her shirt.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a design on a shirt because it's like yeah.
Okay, whatever. So,
In walks
yeah.
Eddie
boy.
and Alicia in matching orange tuxedos.
Yep.
Which, since I have it frozen on here, I'll just upload it too, because this shot is awesome. Oh, so what are they doing to us?
Yeah. So Eddie pulls out her chair for her. And
Also, why is Eddie wearing 3 watches in this scene on one wrist?
Wasn't that like the TV fad in the late 80s for the D-bag villain protagonist to have 3 watches or multiple watches?
I don't know. I don't care.
I feel like I remember that from like Beethoven or something. Even though Beethoven's in the 90s, I know that, but it's
Like,
very much got 80s roots in its DNA.
The only reason people would need multiple watches at that time, though, would be to be like different time zones. So you're that important that you have to have time zones on your wrist because you're doing like meetings and stuff like that. That's why I think that it could work with like the villain aspect of it, because you need the time zone of whatever country you're attacking or some crap.
Oops, sorry, cat.
But for like them trying to make it more like she's kind of making Eddie like a Hollywood elitist type thing, it kind of
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Since she's a model, maybe these are her watches and she's just using him to hold. It's like, all right, what time is it in France? All right.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't see her other hand there because you just see
She's got bracelets on.
She's got bracelets on one arm. Well, I guess if I continued the feed, you can see her other hand.
Maybe.
But yeah, they walk in and they're about to sit down and eat.
Pulls
And,
the chair out, pushes it in.
and Herman's like, well, who is this?
Yeah. And then Marilyn acts like he should do that for her for some reason.
Oh yeah, pull the chair out and put it back in. Yeah.
I'm like, why? But Herman's like, so how was school today? And he didn't have time for it. They went shopping instead. He ordered a wonderful symbol of their love. Or Alicia says that line and Lily repeats it like, what? It's some gold thing you expect from a teenager, honestly. I know because I got my wife like 3 of these when we first started dating. Yeah. I got her like 2 promise rings and a necklace. So
when you guys were dating?
Yeah. Because we met junior year or year 11 for people international. And then I got her one back when we were in high school, a ring when we were freshmen in college, and a necklace at some point between those 2.
Me and my wife were friends since freshman year of high school. And then I got her knocked up. That's what I got.
What a wonderful way to put that story.
No, we started dating, and we were dating for about a year before I think we got pregnant and stuff. Yeah.
So did you buy her any of those dumb, Michael and wife's name forever? I don't want to say it in case she'd have it.
No, I never bought any of that stupid stuff. When they ever did the necklaces.
You didn't even do that when you were younger?
No.
Carve it into a tree?
Like we had already gone through a lot of that crap anyways, and we knew each other's past so too well.
I wasn't dicking specifically with your wife now, but with people you dated back then.
No, I like the most I probably did was I can't even think. I didn't even do one of those stupid like necklaces where it's like you wear half and you wear half with any girlfriends.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
I did that with one of my friends. Like we had like a friendship one. And that wasn't even because I bought it. It was because my mom freaking bought it for us.
So what you're saying is we should get the Deadpool Wolverine necklace.
I have it.
Of course you have it.
I don't think like I never did like those tacky. Not that it's tacky. It's cool for some people.
We're older. We can make fun of our dumb young brains.
I don't think I really did any of that stuff. I didn't. Not to be cocky, but I didn't need to.
I mean, I didn't need to either. I just wanted to.
Like
I already had her locked down.
I did like flowers, and I paid for everything for all that stuff, for dating and all that crap. But
yeah, we got Valentine's Day coming up.
Oh yeah,
for us, current in the present where we're recording this, and that's usually always a thing of roses from me day.
Yeah. Valentine's Day will be a couple days prior before this comes out.
Yeah. I don't get people who get angry about that day. Like, what's wrong with you? Shouldn't feel forced to celebrate love. No, you shouldn't. But you also celebrate surviving a year with your birthday. So shut up. What's the difference?
You do it not because you feel forced or because it's a commercial holiday. You do it because you love somebody and you want to share in your love. Yeah, you should do things for them all the time, but that's one specific day that you get to share doing something for someone you love when everyone else is doing something for someone that they love too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a community thing. It's not even necessarily, you don't even need to spend the money. You don't have to spend money for people that you
No.
love. They know that you love them.
It's
If
a
you're,
thought that counts, you know?
yeah, it's a thought that counts type thing. Like, just go out and do something nice, or whatever. Like last night, me and Nick went and watched Sal
Sal.
Volcano from Impractical Jokers, and it was fun, dude. I liked it. So
Yeah, I've
and
heard he
it's
does a really good set.
huh?
I heard he does a really good set.
Yeah, he did some crowd work last night. I'm interested to see if it turns out to do something later, because he got stuck on one girl, and he's like, "Look, I'll get to the show, but I need to figure this one out first."
I think that's just what he does. He's a really good crowd worker.
Yeah.
From all the things I've read.
Yeah, and you have to be good at crowd work, because that's how you get the audience engaged in the first place. Is you work a little bit of crowd working, but you also have your normal stuff as well.
Yeah.
Because like Matt Rife does a ton of crowd work, and I almost feel it's somewhat of a detriment to him, because people just expect nothing but crowd work from him.
I don't think Joe does that. He's also from Impractical Joke, well, formerly Impractical Jokers, Tenderloins, doing low. But
Joe seems like he would be more of a dick about it, though.
he reminds me of Ron White in the segments I've seen.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Before we dive right back into this episode, of the four main Impractical Jokers that started the show, who do you think is the biggest dick?
Oh, Q. Not Q. Murr.
Okay, I was about to say it's got to be Murr.
And I met Murr in person. He's a funny, nice dude to meet.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if you were to bother him on the street, he would be the one to tell you to, F off.
All right. Anyways,
before we go back, one last defense of Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
The whole argument that you should celebrate your love any day of the week. You should also celebrate being alive every day of the week. Again, birthdays are a thing. Quiet.
I mean, if you aren't, not to be a dick, but if you're not celebrating your love every day of the week, then what are you doing with somebody?
Yeah.
And celebrating doesn't have to be a big, huge thing. No.
Sit down and watch a movie. I'm going to be forced to watch Wicked.
Part 1.
Yeah, part 1. I keep forgetting about that part. Whatever. She wants to watch it. She likes it. I'll sit through it. She's gonna sit through Captain America for me. So at least I could do is do this. But yeah.
All right. So
Herman's like, that sounds like an expensive piece of jewelry, and Eddie's like, oh, I would never wear jewelry. It's a tattoo. Eddie has a tattoo.
Yeah.
But also, any man who refuses to wear a ring because they don't like jewelry is an obvious person who wants an excuse to cheat. Just saying, it's the truth. Don't be stupid, ladies, and fall for that bullcrap. Buy them a plastic ring at first, especially if they're worried about the ring.
Catching it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are freaked out about that. My brother-in-law has a tungsten because of that, but he also wears his around the knuckle.
I have like a real ring, and then I have like this one that's a rubber one because I do a lot of crap with stuff it'll get caught on.
Yeah,
but I never take my damn ring off.
I take it off to sleep because I don't know why, it just bothers me when I sleep. Otherwise, I forget it's there.
Yeah,
and honestly, I've worn it so long now, I have a permanent ring on my finger regardless.
Right, so. Eventually you'll just get the line on your finger anyway.
Yeah, my skin is permanently molded.
So people, if you're out on the dating scene and you see somebody with a ring, a white ring or a lighter ring around their finger, just ask the question. You married?
Yeah.
Because legally they have to tell you, right? Like a cop thing. No.
Yeah. No guy would ever lie to a woman about that stuff.
You could tell when they're lying. You could tell.
And vice versa with a woman.
Yeah.
Anyway, Herman is flabbergasted by the fact that his son now has a tattoo that's, Alicia and Eddie forever, basically. Lily hands Eddie a plate, but he says ladies first. And Marilyn would like to know since when. And shouldn't it be guests first anyway? That's always what I've been taught.
For food?
Like serving meal, yeah.
I mean, generally, yeah. Like you
Yeah.
would let your guests go first. Like we always, whenever we do like our Friendsgiving thing, we let the guests go first and get their food first. Oh, kids and guests, but yeah.
So Alicia is trying to teach Edward proper manners. Isn't that right, Edward? He begins to answer, but she cuts him off and yells at him not to talk with his mouth full. All right. Okay. So maybe the family should let this part play out at least a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, this could be good for him. Herman asked how Eddie football practice went. I quit the team because Alicia says I shouldn't feel the need to take part in Neanderthal brutality to prove my manhood. And she adds that shoulder pads are out this year anyway. And I'm like, lady, the orange suit you're wearing has shoulder pads. What are you talking about? Also, good, because now he won't get brain damage and risk Alzheimer's. NFL can't do jack about me saying this because there's hundreds of studies. So even if they take me to court, they're gonna have to settle. Bring me your money.
You're not gonna take anybody to court for that.
No, because they know they'll lose. They've tried.
Oh, anyway.
But still, try. Bring me your money, NFL. I want your money. Grandpa comes rushing in saying someone stole his lazy chair. Alicia's like, is that the mangy one with loose springs and moth holes?
Yeah,
exactly.
My favorite chair.
My good chair.
My good chair. My favorite good chair.
I sent it to get reupholstered. Eddie tells him not to worry about that chair. It was old and saggy. So was George Burns. You don't see them covering him up. So I'm like, why are you that upset? I mean, you may not like the new color, but she's getting the chair like brand new for you. It's not like she threw it away.
Yeah, but I mean, what if he already broke the chair in? He had it all taken care of. It's not just being reupholstered, but when they redo that, they're going to redo the padding in there. It's not going to be the same. Also, the new padding that they use nowadays is worse than the older padding back in the day. So therefore, it won't feel the same ever again. It's not the same chair.
Yeah, you could break it in again. So, for those who don't know, George Burns was a comedian, actor, writer, singer who passed away in 96 at the age of 100. He's most notably for being photographed with his iconic cigar, and it's shocking that he lived to be 100 while smoking cigars.
Well, it's always interesting when people talk about how, we smoked this many times in my life, or there's this lady that says that she drinks a Dr. Pepper every day and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but what else are you guys doing for your body that's making you live this long? Because it's not like I could go out and drink a Dr. Pepper for every meal of the day and live to 100 and not do anything else. Not what else? What are your other eating habits? What are your exercises? What are you doing? You're not just sitting around watching TV and drinking Dr. Pepper and living to 100 years old. You have to be eating something different. You're not, although our president drinks Coke and eats McDonald's. So
yeah.
There's got to be something out there. But again, you got to.
And our former president fell off bicycles and ate ice cream. And chocolate chip cookies.
But you got to ask yourself out there, it's like, okay, so we see them doing these bad habits, quote unquote, but what else are they doing to maintain their health and their longevity in life and stuff like that?
And a lot of it is we did replace some bad things for us with even worse things. Using lard in cooking. Like, yeah, it's bad for us, but the stuff they use today is way worse.
Yeah. All right.
So, Grandpa Um, Alicia has to go begin her eyelash follicle treatments. And Marilyn says she has to go do her own treatments for nausea. And we never see her again. 6 minutes, or Grandpa's like, 6 minutes to Wapner. So good night. And he rushes off. That's the People's Court for people who are curious.
Well, that was his cue also to just get the hell out of there because Herman and Lily were looking at him like,
Yeah. So Herman asks if Eddie and Alicia have discussed their future together. Like, when is she leaving? And Eddie's like, oh, next Thursday. That long? Well, the new apartment won't be ready until then. This causes his parents to freak out naturally.
What, you're moving in together?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not until after the wedding.
And this causes Lily to freak out even more. He's like, you didn't get your invitation yet? Herman slams his fist down on the table. Like, this is the most frustrated I've ever seen him with his own family. Like,
when you see your son throwing his life away, his not just his life but his youth away, you can get frustrated with it.
On the alternate spin of things, she's already a model this young. She's probably going to be rich her whole life, but we'll find out later. This might be a Home Alone situation. So,
but again, money's not everything, and you shouldn't just go with somebody just
no. But I'm saying she's got money. They're young. They have money now to spend on things while they're young, which is something nobody really can do until they're older if they're lucky. And by that point, you can't do half the stuff you wanted to do when you were younger because the world sucks.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
So Eddie goes, I know what you're going to say. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. She treats me like a man. And Alicia yells that she's waiting. So he's coming, dear, before rushing off. And I'm like, that right there, that it pretty much sums up every romantic relationship in a nutshell. It's like, yeah, but we treat each other with respect. Your significant other calls you, you say, coming, dear. That's it. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not just saying men either. No, it's literally, that's just relationships. So Herman sits back down, putting his hand on Lily's shoulder, looking exhausted.
And then we go to the next scene. Outside the front door.
Here's where I started watching this morning.
Where Eddie and Alicia are dancing on the front porch.
Eduardo.
Why is he Spanish now?
I don't know.
Eduardo Munster. Well, that was very French, but still.
Oh, your Spanish accent's worse than my Italian. Or my Irish.
Look.
And my Italian.
I live with a bunch of Mexicans. My Spanish accent can be horrible because it doesn't matter.
So yeah, they're slow dancing outside the front door, which is cool because we haven't really seen outside the door in a while. Apparently they just left some dance, probably for his school, which how would he be allowed there with skipping school so much?
I mean, he was just in the newspaper a couple weeks ago, so
even still,
he is the news. They need him.
Yeah.
Bad press or good press, they need him.
Maybe his buddy from the rivalry episode bought him a ticket, be like, "Here, I can't dance better than you if you're not here."
I can't show off my girlfriend.
Yeah. He says she's the first person who isn't named after a month of the year that he's been into. I'm like, oh, okay, so like, April or May. But then I'm like, no, is he talking about like, the calendar babes? Like Miss July, Miss January. Like that would be more in line with Eddie.
Yeah.
They then kiss, and I have to once again wonder, how old is she?
How old is she in real life at this point?
23.
And he is not older than 16.
Marsden?
Here. Yeah. Here. In 1990?
How old? Let's see. I wish you were here.
Because that's like a legitimate kiss, too.
Yeah, let's see. Do they have his age when he was born? 75. So that would make him 15.
Yeah.
Well, 14 at the time of the filming, and she's 22.
Oh my God. If you... Because I wanted to see if their lips actually touch. Their lips actually do touch. And
Yeah.
I will show you something else that makes it even worse because she's 20-something. So it's not... When I say it's not a big deal, I guess, because look what they did with that 70s show. She was like, what, 14 when they started doing that show, and they were doing like fake sex scenes and stuff. And Ashton Kutcher was like 20-something.
Yeah, that 70 and that 90s show definitely pushes bounds.
Let me see if you notice something on this picture here, though. Do you see it?
That Lily's earring?
No, in between them. That is saliva. Coming from their kiss that they just had.
All right, get it off the screen now. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't. I grew up with a bull mastiff who drooled everywhere. I have a weird. Get me around a baby, and you'll see me gagging a lot. No joke. That's a very real thing I do.
Really? You can't
My wife
be
makes
around
fun of
that
me
stuff?
endless. No, oh god,
Oh no.
you just see it dripping down cheek, like endlessly waterfalls coming from the jowls of a dog every day while you're eating dinner because he would choose to eat when you ate.
True story. At least for my first child, I used to just like. My wife was like that. She didn't necessarily do the whole bodily fluids from the kid, but I would just like take my shirt and have him blow his nose in my shirt and stuff. Like if it was like an emergency.
It's drool specifically.
And I mean, when you pick up a kid and hold him over your head, and then the drool just falls into your face or your mouth.
My brother-in-law tells a story when we have our Sunday lunches where his kid will just be sucking on her hand and then stick it right in his mouth, and I'm just, I can't.
Oh, I can't wait for you to be a dad. It'll be awesome.
I can't either, but I can't do that.
Tivis will be constantly gagging.
I'm going to be the guy who says I vomited on a baby.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I get it all the time. Everyone makes fun of me for it, but I can't help it. It's just, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, both my sisters have kids. My brother-in-law has a kid now. We're surrounded by kids. I'm around it. It's still.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, they're continuing their talk after their kiss. And she's like, hey, you want to go out for Italian food? Sure, where? And she's like, so Italy. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. This is before that. She says, I was your wish, but you are my dream come true. That's what she tells Eddie.
Yeah, she does say that. I didn't write that down either.
Yeah. But then she wants to go for Italian food in Italy. And the wedding they have the wedding there too. And Eddie's like, wait, you want to go all the way to Italy just for some food? And then it basically turns out that she wants to move to Italy. with Eddie
Mhm.
right now,
Yeah,
leaving Mockingbird Heights behind.
you could visit your family a couple times a year,
Yeah.
which I mean,
This
that's
is
about
where
how often I see my family, and they live 20 minutes from me. So I might as
this
well move.
there's parts in this scene here where she almost looks possessed, which good on the actress for pulling this off, because to me it kind of gives off the whole she seems very possessed, which I'm not sure if it was planned or not, as it being like a function or a not function, a repercussion of the magic being used on her.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. She was magicked into this situation.
Yeah.
So
So does she actually have control over her own thoughts though during this entire time? Because magic brought them together, does magic actually keep her liking him or loving him or whatever? Or is it just the magic drew her to him and then they formed this relationship? They don't really
I think
specify
it's
what.
more of that one because, as you can, we'll get into it, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
not a permanent like I'm with you or you
forever.
die,
Yeah,
type of thing.
that
If
we
I
know
can't have
of.
you, no one will.
Yeah, so then this is when Eddie's like, "Wait, you want me to leave Mockingbird Heights? Like leave my family, blah blah blah." And then she's like, "Are you telling me you're not a man yet?" Because she says that he has to make a decision. And she's like, "Are you telling me you're not a man yet?" And then she says, "Real men make decisions, Edward." Deep cuts. It's like they're already married.
Yeah. She also says when he says he's not ready to be married, he's like, I'm not ready to leave. I don't even know if I'm ready to be married yet. And she is offended. She's like, you think you could find a more beautiful bride? He's like, not unless Christy Brinkley leaves Billy Joel, which she did in 94, but then she remarried Richard Tubman the same year. Then they left him a year later and married Peter Cook a year after that. That lasted 12 years before the splitting. So assuming this takes place in 1990, he'd have to wait 18 years.
Which he'd
That
be mature then.
Yeah, Christy Brinkley is the one who's 71 now, by the way. Yeah,
So
but yeah, she's like, look, you make decisions. Are we getting married or not? He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, yes. She's like, besides, 15 isn't so young. How old are you, lady? She was on
yeah,
the
she's
cover
like,
of 4 magazines at that age.
yeah. And
Then
then
she
she's like,
starts
"Don't you
naming
want to
off.
be?" Yeah, yeah. She starts naming off people, including Bart Simpson.
Yeah, Tiffany, Fred Savage, and Bart Simpson. No, she says it weird. Bart Simpson or something like that. I can't do it like she did. It was weird. But also, Bart Simpson's like 10 perpetually.
Yeah. Even in 1990, he wasn't like even super old in creation, even.
No, I don't think Bart Simpson's a high schooler, is he?
No, it's middle school, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like,
So,
is it Springfield Elementary? I don't
yeah, it is
remember.
elementary. Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
even in middle school. So he's at
Yeah.
most a 6th grader. But yeah.
For all these years, trapped.
And he's like, I would like to do all those things those people do someday. She tells him some people or many people don't get, or for many people, someday never comes. And then they walk inside. As the door closes, Herman and Lily are revealed to have been listening behind the door the whole time.
Mhm.
I love the sneaky pair. They're like just
Well, it's reminiscent
observing
of
from afar.
the very first, I think it was the very first episode of the very first Munsters, where Herman was lingering in the door when Marilyn was coming home.
Oh yeah, it freaked out that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was a nice little nod, if that's a nod. Then we flash to Grandpa in the lab in front of his computer again. I wonder if he's talking to the AI program again.
We got like a giant fly on it, and he's wearing a hat. I can't tell what the symbol is.
It's a
Kind
bat.
of looked like Jason Todd's symbol.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But Jason Todd hadn't. I don't even think he was Robin yet at this point.
No, I think it's they were trying to do a bat symbol on there, but not like get in trouble with DC.
Yeah. Little did I know DC was going to steal from them.
Yeah.
But Eddie enters. He's like, "Hey, you wanted to see me?" And he immediately starts fiddling with stuff in the cabinet. Grandpa's like,
Yep.
"Oh yeah." Takes his hat off and smacks him in the head. What was that for? Breaking your parents' heart, quitting school, moving to Italy, getting a stupid tattoo. Pick one.
Yeah.
I love Grandpa. He is the best part of every Munsters thing.
Yeah. All I wrote down for this one was Grandpa and Eddie fight about his wish.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot going on, but it was basically Eddie just didn't want to hear Grandpa at all.
Oh no. As young people do.
And he was basically saying, well, he was dissing him about his wish of the farmer's girl, maiden or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, Italy isn't so far. I can still visit a couple times a year. It's Earth to Eddie. You're 15 and live here. You still got name tags on your Fruit of the Looms. I can't afford to lose Alicia. It's like, no. Stay here. Grow up. Someday you'll, someday growing up and leaving home will make sense, which is weird because he tells him to grow up here. But Alicia says someday may never come for many people. Why do you keep quoting her like a student of philosophy when she's not? She probably thinks Play-Doh is a small can of colored clay.
Because she probably says these things when she doesn't have certain articles of clothing on, Tivis, and they're all he can think of.
Well, we saw him outside when she said that.
Yeah.
Eddie tells him he's a man now and men make their own decision. Grandpa laughs at his decisions. And then we hear Alicia, "Come, Edward." Or no, Grandpa's quoting her, "Come, Edward, sit, Edward, roll over, Edward. She's got you better trained than Spuds McKenzie." Which, anyone who does not know who Spuds McKenzie is, it was a dog that looked very much like the Target dog in beer commercials, and it was rad. They make fun of him in Futurama. That dog was awesome. Anyway, Eddie tells him to admit that his wish is working out better than his grandpa's. "I bet the farmer's daughter never asked you to go to Italy," and then runs upstairs. And that's when Grandpa reveals they never came out from behind the barn to go anywhere. And I'm like, okay, then. Wow. Didn't need to know that. That's the most crude joke I've ever heard in the show when it comes to Grandpa.
Then we go back out. We're upstairs now, and Eddie and Alicia are coming down the stairs. And then come Lily and Herman.
Yeah, they're on their way to the florist to pick out the flowers for the wedding. When, like, "Please don't get married. Please don't get married." And Alicia basically tells Lily to, like, "Hey, step back." She actually tells her to stop holding Edward back. Herman's like, "Hey, men don't take on responsibilities they aren't ready for." And I'm like, I'm gonna cut you off right there. Oh, he also says, if you were anything but a child yourself, you'd know that.
Yeah.
How old is this girl? But hold up. I know it sucks in this situation, but if a teenage boy gets a girl pregnant, he absolutely needs to step up. I almost swore, step up and take responsibility. Sure, that sucks for him. His, life is now changed forever, but that's the consequences of your own stupid, decisions. Don't be a POS parent.
I'm not going to go there. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I think that he should have reworded this in a different way. I don't think that they were necessarily thinking about teen pregnancy a massive ton in the 90s.
No, that wasn't until MTV got a hold of the paychecks.
I mean, there were teen pregnancies.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
not
I'm just
like
saying.
a massive amount. I am the result of a teen pregnancy. This is what happens when you have kids too early, people. They come out like
I was an accident too, but at least my mom was 20.
my mom broke up with her boyfriend and then found out she was pregnant on her birthday.
My sister has a similar story that I'm not going to repeat because that's her business. But yeah, so it's just men don't take responsibilities that they're not ready for. I'm sorry. Sometimes it doesn't matter whether you're ready or not.
Yeah.
You just have to step up.
That's like responsibility that you're ready for, but whether you're never ready for anything technically. Like nothing major in life you're going to be prepared enough for. We train our soldiers. They're never ready enough until they get over wherever they're fighting and stuff.
And honestly, that's probably a good thing in that situation. You should never be ready to kill a person.
Yeah. But it's along the same lines. It's like you have to responsibility comes to you in times that you don't necessarily know how to handle those responsibilities all the time, whether even if it's having kids or having car payments and having to go out on your own and find an apartment or a house or get a job because your responsibilities are now coming up. There's people that have had to get jobs as kids to help take care of their parents while they were still going to high school. So the responsibility it comes.
Yeah, whether you want it to or not.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not saying that kids should be responsible for taking care of their parents while they're still in freaking school.
No, they shouldn't be, but the sad truth
it happens.
Is it happens. Yeah.
Yes. Way more times than people want to admit that it happens within this world nowadays. Yeah.
But more importantly, how old is this lady?
Right. Yeah. How old is she? Then
she's like, what is the point?
Yeah.
Liz's like, the point is we're not allowing him to go through with this. And Herman's like, go to your room. And Alicia's like, Edward? And he's like, the look on James Marsden's face is so confliction, like, who do I listen to? He's annoyed, confused. You have to make a choice. Your parents or me.
And then knock, knock, knock.
Nobody uses the doorbell anymore. The doorbell
and
is
Alicia's. It's not even Alicia's house, and she's going to answer the door.
Yeah.
And who's at the door?
She's been staying there. She might have voted.
Who comes to the door, Tivis?
It's Herb.
Yep.
Mutter.
Alicia's mama shows up. And she smacks her with a hat. And Eddie's like, more with the hats?
Must be a generational thing, which, dude, she is not as old as your grandpa.
Right. But
this is the
probably
actress,
watches the same stuff that lady watches.
This is the lady that we have no idea who she is because she's not credited in the credits. She's not IMDb.
Yeah.
So if you know who she is, please comment below on the YouTube video. Let us know. Frank, I'm sure you've already beat us to this, knowing full well who we were talking about at the beginning. But I hate that we're still dealing with this. We have people who show up that aren't getting credit. I don't care how little their role is. You still give credit.
Right. And then it turns out she says, you called my mom. And it turns out Eddie actually called her. How did Eddie get her number?
Yeah. It's like, how did you ruin everything? And I'm like, are we not planning on inviting your mom to the wedding? Yeah, I got scared. It's too soon for me to be a man. I need to be a kid a while longer.
A little
And
bit longer.
Alicia's mom then grabs Alicia by the hair and yanks her outside, saying she's late for a Calvin Klein meeting.
Yeah.
Can someone please send Child Protective Services to look into this, please? This is
So
clearly
the
exploitative.
the way she grabs her, she grabs her hair, but she's actually grabbing the ear and dragging her out by her ear.
It does not matter. Wherever she's grabbing her, this is abusive. Like, I'm getting Macaulay Culkin type vibes here. Like, get out there and earn me money.
I used to get grabbed by my ear all the time and pulled around by my
Were you
aunt.
pulled to go do a photo shoot, though?
I don't know what I was told to go do. The trauma is there affected me so much, Tivis. I don't remember anything because of my ear pull. Oh no. There's worse
Talk
things
to a
that they could
therapist.
do. There's way worse things that they could have done to her. She could have freaking hooked a chain to her and pulled her ass out the door. Like,
Yeah, but I
no.
mean, she's literally grabbing her and yanking her to go make money for them.
Again, responsible.
No, not response. This is Macaulay Culkin type abusive relationship.
No, I think her mom's
Or Will
more
Wheaton, as
so.
he says, he won't ever go into the details, but
I think it's more so her mom is annoyed that she just took off, which rightfully so. Your kid just takes
then
off and
you
you don't know where they
ground her.
are.
You don't take her immediately to a Calvin Klein photo shoot. Again, the fact that she's taking her to go back to work immediately.
I mean, kids are slaves, aren't they?
I mean, some states are making it that way again, but that's not the point.
No, I understand what you mean though. Like the way that she's doing it and just
What she
specifically to
said,
get her back to
her
work.
perspectives, yeah.
If it was like, look, you're in trouble, I'm taking your ass home and grabbing her like that, it's completely different scenario than, look, you're in trouble, you need to get back to work.
Even when she enters, she's annoyed that she left a photo shoot.
Yeah.
She's not mad she ran away. She's mad she left a job. Which,
all right.
But yeah, Eddie's sad, Lily's ecstatic, and Herman seems to be the only one who recognizes what they just witnessed.
Yeah.
By the judgment on his face.
Yeah.
He tells. Yeah. Go on. Well, he tells Eddie that you took a big step towards manhood today, and I'm extremely proud of you. Yeah. And Lily is just happy Alicia's gone.
And Herman's like, she's out of our house, out of our lives, and best of all, she's out of our bathroom.
Yeah. And then he rushes up.
Yeah. And then we get the cold cut. And then we go back down to the lab. We come back to Grandpa. Eddie brings him
some mail.
Yeah.
Who's it from, Mike?
It's from Barney O'Blarney.
The leprechaun?
The leprechaun.
No, Betty's husband.
Barney O'Blarney.
If people didn't watch Flintstones, they won't get that joke, but I thought it was great.
Yeah. So then Grandpa gets this note from Barney saying, hey, we thank you for getting me together with my wife, basically. And
I have it written down specifically.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thanks to you, our love is still alive. Rub the shamrock to get a surprise.
Yeah. So Grandpa rubs the shamrock and poof.
It's the
Helga shows back up.
It's the farmer's daughter. She looks young.
And he says, well, where have you been all these years? And she said, I've been
400 years.
Waiting behind the barn for 400 years. Thanks to the leprechaun, they are reunited. And Grandpa in front of Eddie.
They rush off.
Takes the girl into his casket.
Yeah, he's
and Eddie's just there. Eddie is just there like, what am I supposed to do? He kind of looks off screen. I swear this is what I thought when I first saw this scene. He looks off screen and it's kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like he didn't know what was about to happen in the scene. Like they didn't tell him. That's kind of the look that Eddie or that Jason is giving here. I'm like, I wonder if
Oh,
they told him or if that's like all pure, like just, you know.
oh, it's amazing callback to the weird joke, but also
Yeah.
ew.
Do you think Grandpa's streak is finally over? Minus the one time fling he had with his wife that one episode?
Yeah, probably. Is he going to be nicer? I doubt it. But
Because what he had gone like 300 years
yeah, yeah,
since
yeah.
his wife.
So how old is Grandpa then? Because he mentions it's been 400 years since he's seen this lady. It was 300 years since his wife, and it's 300 years that his mom was still around.
I don't remember. I think they've given us a date before, like
I swear he
a
was only like
year.
400 something years old.
I thought that was Lily.
Maybe. Yeah, I
Well,
know
no, she would
400's
only be
come up
like,
before. I think
I think
she's
she
300.
3 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Grandpa was like 100 years before he met his wife. So the history we have for Grandpa now is, we had 100 years before he met his wife, 300 years they had Lily.
Mhm.
In that 100 years, we found he had a magical fling with this farmer's daughter, and went to college, met a leprechaun and a dude who got in a car accident, and Leonard. And his mom was heavily involved for 300 years. This is kind of sounding like he had similar life to everyone likes Raymond. Everyone loves Raymond.
Yeah.
So,
Did she make good
I,
food though? Did the mom make good food? That's the only
that is a
important part.
good question.
And what about his dad? We never hear about his dad ever.
No, and I still want to meet his sisters.
Yeah, interesting.
Can we get
Anyways.
a movie of this group, please?
A prequel to the Munster family?
No, not a prequel. Just like let's do another movie that they film like 20, 30 years later and has the whole family, like they did for Munster's Revenge.
Yeah. All right, so final thoughts?
I went first last week. You go.
So it was an okay episode. It wasn't anything like special to me. It was just a average episode. Like I watched it and then I was just sitting back thinking about it. I was like, nothing sticks out to me specifically outside of some of the awkward moments. There's really no good like PSA kind of moment in this part here besides Eddie doing what he thinks is best after, of course, Grandpa's talk. It's like Grandpa had this conversation. Eddie ignored everything he says, though, but then still takes a left turn into where he actually should be going. So it's kind of like Grandpa's advice helped, but at the same time, Eddie doesn't want to admit that it was Grandpa. And the show's kind of making it seem like Eddie just came to this conclusion by himself, but realistically, I feel it is Grandpa's input that made the decision a lot easier for Eddie to change his side.
We did see he had doubts even before talking to Grandpa.
Yeah, about moving and stuff, right.
And being married.
I don't know if he had doubts about being married, but more
because
so
he had that
leaving
comment.
his family.
I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready to be married.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I did like the outfit changes in this. I didn't realize that Marilyn did disappear in that last act after the dinner.
She went to the bathroom and just vanished.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a portal there.
Maybe she got stuck in the mud.
Oh, that's the upstairs bathroom. We know that
Or
they have at least 2.
or she got stuck in this.
I hate you so much.
Um. Anyways, it's nothing special to me that stood out really, and just a lot of good humor, I guess.
Yeah, I concur. This is really enjoying his last one with the union strike and stuff.
Hmm.
This one, I kind of missed the mark. I feel like because it felt like there was trying to do some kind of life lesson here about growing up too quick, and it
Right.
didn't stick the landing.
Right.
But it's still enjoyable. I had fun with it. I might put this one towards the bottom of the middle for me for all of Munsters, but
Okay. It's not one that I would be like clamoring to go back and rewatch right away.
yeah, this is just an all right episode, I think.
Yeah.
You know, as we're having some technical problems, we might as well just end it because you got to drive.
Yes. All right. All right. So what are we talking about next week, real quick?
Yeah, let's try and make guesses here. 3 Munsters and a baby. Oh God. Okay. So my first thought is the high school class where you take home one of those fake babies.
Uh-huh.
My second thought, someone is going to drink a magic potion and become a baby.
And it says 3 Munsters, so I'm assuming it's going to be a Grandpa, Lily, and Herman filled episode, and then you'll have the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they go back and be like, hey, this is a backstory for Marilyn when she was a baby and she came to us as a baby instead of as a teenager.
Well, she's older than Eddie, and we saw Eddie being born, so we know she wasn't there yet.
I mean, she could have just been slumbering.
It's possible.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I have no idea. 3 Munsters and a Baby, I'm going to say, is kind of like a take on 3 Men and the Baby.
What happens in that movie?
A lot of stuff. I don't remember, dude.
Well, we know that they did.
I haven't watched that movie since it came out, like in the 90s.
We know they did
80s.
that Christmas one pretty accurately in the episode. They parodied that. So
yeah,
I was curious because I don't know if I've ever
3
seen
men
this movie.
Babysitting a baby. I gotta tell you, I got 3 Men and a Baby and Baby's Day Out always mixed up together, so it kind of clashes together.
That's such a good movie. Yeah, so that's exciting. We have no idea what the heck is gonna happen.
Yeah. So 3 Munsters and a Baby, awesome. Any final words, dude?
Thank you all for again continuing this ride with us. I can't thank you enough.
Definitely, guys.
I'm so glad to be back, Myke. This is so much fun.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate all you guys tuning in this week, and we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.
Myke and Tivis got love for you, no lie. We appreciate the fans in every way. Thanks for rocking with us every Munster Monday. Leave a comment, share, let your thoughts fly. Myke and Tivis got love for you, no lie. We appreciate the fans in every way. Thanks for rocking with us every Munster Monday.